Hi guys. Okay, yes, I know you say I'm here again, right? Yes, I'm here. Okay, now today I'll teach you and show you how to shade a still life object. Simple, basic steps in shading. Now let's begin. Now I'll draw a bottle. Remember, always sketch, make it light until you get the shape you want. The cover. Curve here. Yeah, then let's continue. Now slide it out. When you make your work, your pencil sketches faint, it makes it neater. It makes your work neater. And with this, being so light, if you make any mistakes, you can easily erase. Yes, now I can go back and darken my lines. I've gotten the shape I want. Let me finish it up. Now there. Now time to shade. Now let me draw a cup. Yeah, let's put a cup to show perspective. Now there's a rule in perspective. Perspective is being able to show objects behind or in front of the other object. Showing things from different angles. Now I want to draw a cup that is behind the bottle. I can draw half of the cup like this. See that? Slight curve. Now the rule is when an object is behind the other, the base is shorter than the one in front. With this, it can clearly show that the other object is behind. You don't end them on the same line like this. See that? See that? Now it looks like it's behind. This will be higher, this lower. Now let me finish this up. See that? Now it shows that the cup is behind the bottle. With this being longer, the bottle being longer, shows that the bottle is in front. Now it's time to shade. Now to shade, first let me introduce you to what is called the effect of light and shade. The effect of light and shade is what shows the light reflection on an object. Now, for instance, I can pick my left to be my light point. Now, if here is my light point, it means the light is showing on this part of the object. Now, if I start here as my light point, you can start very faint. Shade very faintly. Sideways, you can start sideways. Now you can look at that. So faint, like you're not even touching the paper. So faint. You can barely see the difference. Very faint. Sideways. All the way down. This is just the basic steps in shading, in showing the effect of light and shade all the way to the base. Now go back. The next line will be a little darker. Can you see the difference? Can you see the difference? Just a little darker. And come closer. See, this very light. This just a little darker. Now take it all the way down as well. Now I'm going downwards. This is a little darker than the first, if you'll agree. Yes, and I'm taking it down. I'm still going sideways for this shading. You can see the difference, just a little slightly darker. Now I'm going to the next. Now here can be our darkest point, our shade. Now you can make here dark, the darkest. Can you see the difference now? The darkest. Still sideways. Now, as you can see, it looks like a line. The darkest part is like leaving a line behind. Now we'll go back to that point where it looks like there's a line and slightly shade over that line. We call that blending. We won't want people to notice, to just see a sharp line all the way down. No. We'll go back, shade over that line slightly. It's called blending. Slightly over the line. On the line. Slightly over it. On the line, slightly. Slightly. Now I want you to notice the difference. Can you see the difference between here and here? The line here is still very conspicuous, but here is almost invisible. Go back to the line it's created, over it, and slightly shade over it, slightly. You can see we're covering up the lines. We're covering up every trace on the line. Just shade it all the way down. See that? With this blending, no one can actually see the part where you start to get it darker. Now you can still go back to the edge as well. If you still want it darker, you can still make an extra darkest point if you want. Yes. Yeah. Making just a little darker on the very edge. There. Just blend it. Blend. When you're blending your pencils, you place them slowly, carefully. Let's do that to the top as well, slightly. Yeah. Now as you can see, let me raise it up. Can you see that? No lines. Now the same for the other object. Now this part is our light side. On this object too, this part will be its light side. Here, the dark side. Now here, we'll make it light because the left for us here is light. So here also will be light. So I'll make here light all the way down. As I'm going in a little darker, just like we did, a little darker. Then my darkest. Go back in and blend. We don't want those lines to show. Blend it. Blend it. Blend it. Now there you have it. Now even the cup on the inside. Maybe a glass of wine. Light here. Now for every shading, the darkest part has what we call the shadow. You call it to cast a shadow. If here is your lightest part, your shadow will be on the darkest part. Now let me put my shadow for my cup on the darkest parts, just on the floor, on the base, the bottom. Just do that to show base for a cup. Now this bottle's shadow over here. See, the bottle is longer, so the bottle's shadow should be longer. Cup, and here, bottle, longer. Now that's it. A shadow. You see, the shadow for the bottle, longer. Shadow for the cup, shorter. Always remember, the shadow always falls on the darkest part. Remember, lightest part, no shadows. Darkest part, cast your shadows. Yes, there you have it, everyone, how to shade a still life object. Oh, now with this, I want you all to come up with any object. Place any object on the table. Place it in this manner. Put one behind to show perspective, one in front, just like my bottle. Then I want you all to draw it and shade it. Don't forget to cast your shadows. Okay, guys. Bye, everybody.